Hello folks, a lot of stuff to show you in this new episode of Starbound 1.3 preview. So we're already all the way up to release candidate 6. They've been putting out a new release every day, and things have been changing, and we'll have a look at a few of those changes, especially to the navigation screen in this episode. We'll also have a look at the visual novel engine that they've added, and also play around with some of the new blocks and these rail trams as well. I may as well show you this because we're here. And the new blocks that they've added, you can see up here. I did this on the stream I did the other day. Yeah, you can now use diagonal blocks, sort of. I mean, this is what you've got. This stuff here, the hull panel, the rusty panel, and the inset panel are stuff that you find when you go to like anomalies and space stations and stuff like that. And you find 50 of them in chests here and there. And when you place them down, yeah, whatever. But then you can also do diagonal widgemy woo-wahs, and everything looks very woojy-doobly indeed, whatever the hell that means. Obviously that the walls that come with the space station originally cannot be mined out, otherwise you might expose yourself to vacuum, and you don't want that. And so in theory these are supposed to be like the first diagonal blocks in the game, but these kind of like stairs have been in the game for previously anyway, so technically there have been diagonal blocks before, and now you can go crazy with all this sort of stuff. And that looks really cool. Actually, I've never tried using this before. All sorts of wonkiness. Plus this stuff, which is yellow. Basically. All very nice indeed. Right, so let's have also, whilst we're here, have a look at the rail trams. We've seen these in space stations, in proper space stations, but to actually wire them up yourself requires a little bit of nous. If you can just press the button just calls them. So if you go to this one, it'll call it. Press the button, it'll call it, and go all the way to the right. So no matter where it is, it'll find its way to you. However, you have to wire it up correctly, unfortunately. And by the way, you do actually make all this stuff at the rail crafting table, which is already in the game, but now it's been expanded to add things like rail trams, requiring quite a lot of different materials. The rail tram stop is the other new thing, and requiring various random stuff. And you use the existing track to place it. Right, but the thing is you do actually have to wire it correctly. Like, well, I'm sure that I'm not quite sure if this is like in its finished state or not, but each one seems to come with 2 inputs and 1 output. I haven't quite worked out why there are 2 inputs just yet. But as you can see, actually it's a bit of a mess really. But I have actually chained them all together. So this stop here, the output of that goes to the inputs of this one, and the output of that goes to both of these. But this one over here doesn't go like all the way to the one on the left, for instance. So I think you just have to chain them together. You don't have to do a complete comprehensive like every one to every other one. And the actual buttons themselves, these are just normal wall buttons, like one of those. They're just like the output of that is wired to the inputs also of these things. So, I mean, that's just a very rough and ready thing. I'm going to not do this as a tutorial because that would be quite boring and slow-winded. Slow-winded? Is that even a term? Anyway, just like the rail trams in the space stations, or the fixed space stations, you can ride them using the arrow keys, like that. Do-do-do-do. And I'm going to... There. Whatevs. The weird thing is that you can't actually get the rail trams off the tracks. Last time I tried this anyway. Let's get off the wiring mode. See, I'm trying to like get rid of it, and you can't. Press E, and you actually go inside it. Unlike the old-fashioned platforms, I don't think I've got any in my inventory anymore. Oh yes, I have. With these fellas, you can just press E and you'll retrieve them. With the rail cars or the rail trams, you simply can't do that. The only way I've found of actually getting rid of the trams is to break the track and make it fall off, which is a bit peculiar. Okay, I'm back on the ship. So let's look at a couple of the changes to the navigation system since I've started making these videos. Now they've actually added in release candidate 6, or it might have been 5, and they've finally added a little visual prompt to actually do the zooming out. Still a little like weird, and you can still like zoom out just by clicking kind of like to the sides, basically outside of the circle. So that's just like I think just they've added that just as like a a little guidance, because it was a little bit confusing. It still is a bit. I mean, it's still like right click, left click. It's all very strange. Another thing they've added is for these. Hang on, let's just click off there. These anomalies that we've explored previously, they've actually added the threat level. They didn't have that before, and so you never knew exactly what you were getting yourself into. And as far as I can work out, it's completely dependent on the difficulty of the solar system that you're in. And because we're currently at a rather nasty volcanic star, or fiery star, and the threat is extreme. And the previous one I went to, I think it was like either a temperate star or a radioactive star. That was normal. So it does make sense. Like, the harder the star system you're in, the harder the threat of the anomaly. So you'll get a lot more baddies and all sorts of stuff. I don't know if it actually relates to the quality of the trove, though, you get at the end of the anomaly. Because this one I went into, the end result was fairly poor. There wasn't really any treasure at all there, so I don't know, really. But it was definitely a more difficult encounter. One more thing, let's have a go over to, let's say, this one. Doesn't really matter where. Everything seems to take 100 fuel, but it might be a bug. I don't know. So this screen now, you go out of it. Previously, there was a bug where when you were back into it, you immediately went into the solar system that you're actually aiming at. Now it just comes up with this rather gnomic message, ship in transit, and you can't actually do anything on the screen at all. So it's a bit like the old-fashioned Starbound transient weirdness where you saw all the code flapping about all over the place. So that's another little change that they've added, which makes it just a little bit less buggy, really, I guess. Okay, just to prove a little point, this is what we just came to. This is actually a frozen one, frozen star. And if you actually look at the anomalies, these are now dangerous, which is a step below extreme. So yes, it just depends on the tier of the solar system. Right, let's have a look at the visual novel engine. Apparently you can find the visual novel arcade machines on space stations in some of the encounters. I still haven't managed to find one, but by the power of admin cheats, here is actually one of the arcade machines right here, which we'll have a look at now. And I've never done this before. Beautiful attempt! So, Sakura Shrine, Maiden Hearts. The one thing I have done is go into this and discover how you actually have to use keys rather than mouse. So if you keep on clicking on new game with your mouse over and over and nothing happens, it's because you have to use your keys. Right, so this time, this story was written by a diverse team of talented Hilotl scholars. The creative team are not responsible for any heartbreak or infatuation with fictional characters that may develop from playing this game. Enter. Right. Life sure is quiet for me, an unassuming, hard-working Hilotl teenage boy at a boarding school. Like a discarded plastic bag floating down river, I sometimes feel as if I simply drift through life. I won't read all this out. My only solace is my incredible and unwavering finesse at air hockey. Okay, so he's in his dorm. The thoughts of air hockey have gripped me once more. Right, so now we've actually got choices. So this is actually a proper visual novel with choices. Let's play some air hockey. Knowledge is important, but skill at a lesser-known, low-friction competitive game is something that will stay with me forever. Alright. I get a feeling this is something that you really need to read through properly yourself, because this is actually quite a funny thing. Apparently there are multiple endings, so it's just not just a one-off thing. And I guess they are putting this in, so people can mod in their own stuff, and maybe they'll have different novels as they go on. But I think at the moment they may only have the one. Apparently the beautiful attempt machine is the only one in there at the moment. The hockey table is a beautiful smooth surface, perforated and varnished. I place the book on the table, savouring the moment. Something feels wrong. Uh-oh. Something's going... It's travelling through time! God damn it. My vision slowly returns to me, and I feel warm sand beneath my hands and feet. Am I on a planet's surface? I am not on fire, but that doesn't give me much reassurance. The place I am in is totally unfamiliar. I am on the shore of a small island, the centre of blah blah blah. So now I can sneak around or cry for help. Let's cry for help. I'm sure I shall draw the attention of some helpful authority figure. Beautiful girl. Ceremonial robes. Ah! Hello. Who are you and why are you screaming like a nerd? Beautiful clammy skin. Ooh, who are you? I'm Kasumi, Shrine Maiden sent to bless the Grand Hilotl Library before its opening next week. She explains. Nobody's supposed to be here, though. Well, I was sent through time. Let's be honest. Doesn't everyone travel through time? Oh, smart ass. We are all moving through time at a rate of 1 second per second, she elaborates. I cannot tell if this beautiful girl is insane, or genius, or vice versa. Right, let's just give her a romantic fake name. Vaughan St. Love Castle! God damn it. So this all ties into the plot of the game, sort of. Ugh. Well, yeah, you can see how this is going. I'm not going to continue. It's something that you want to probably play through for yourself. And as I say, it does seem to have multiple endings, apparently, from what I've read. So something to actually peruse as you fancy. Okay, so let's quickly just put something to practice from earlier. And we're back at a volcano star, and I've just gone over to an anomaly, which again is extreme. So let's just have a look to see just how extreme it can actually get. Also give a chance to show off my new mech body, which I collected on the stream. Yes! It's a cheese shark! Delicious cheese shark. Okay, so let's have a look just to see how threatening things actually get. Actually, there's a shitload of monsters. And I've only ever seen these mine-laying ones previously on hostile ships. But now they're here, around an anomaly. And yeah, there's one of those bastards. There's a moon. There's 2 mine layers. Bloody hell. And very, very quickly indeed, I get overwhelmed. Now, since I'm actually in admin mode at the moment, I'm not actually going to die. So it's all a bit kind of silly at the moment. So yes, that is incredibly extreme compared to the previous ones, where you actually get quite a reasonable time of it at lower level planets. Now, something else I should mention whilst I'm doing a scrappy roundup sort of episode, looking at various different parts of the new updates that's coming in. So in the very first episode, we came here, and we did like the starter quest and stuff like that. I was a little uncertain how at what stage of the game these things actually unlocked, and I think in the first episode, I said it might be after Shockhopper, but that's now actually incorporated into the mech plotline. It turns out that the first quest that you have to do to unlock mechs, or the startings of mechs, is actually earlier than Shockhopper. I can't remember which one it is, but it's the one I think before the Urchius mission. Then I think that's when doing that is what unlocks the first quest, which I think is Test Drive, and then I believe there's a Parts and Labour one, and then Shockhopper, and then the Advanced Test Drive one. Although the middle two might be the one way around. And at the moment, with the Spoiler Ape, who came in somewhere in the middle because of awkwardness, because of old save game material, I'm currently going on to Parts and Labour, which I'll already probably have done, because I've already got the parts. So let's just see. And there we go, yes, now it's actually trying to get me to do the Shockhopper mech quest, which I believe I've already done previously with this character, but... yeah, it's the one we've already seen, the Shockhopper we've already seen, so I'll just very briefly do that. So the Shockhopper used to be like a standalone quest. It's like a side quest that just was on its own, but now it's firmly in the middle of all this mech stuff, which is its own little sort of like side quest storyline. Yeah, this is all very familiar stuff. Many years ago, probably was a couple of years ago, I did a how-to video on how to destroy this bugger. Well, yeah, as I say, I'm still in admin mode, so it's all a bit pointless, really. Yes, whatever. Mate, there's actually a mech body you can get which looks like this, apparently, which is all very nice. Let's just actually get out of here. Okay, so we'll basically stop here, and we've had a look at a few new things. It's a bit of a scatty old episode, and I've just been trying to adapt my Safari Park's tram system to the new style, but there's quite a few kinks to work out at the moment. Like I discovered that if the tram can't find its way to a stop, this thing starts flashing, and there's all sorts of scenes, all very peculiar. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's no longer on the network, I've decided. That's gone the wrong way. Yeah, so I'm keeping on figuring out the wiring of this thing. I don't think I've completely got a handle on it. And it keeps just broken now. It's just not even staying on the tracks. Yep. Okay. So we'll pick this up again in the next episode. I think we're going to look at some more mech stuff next time. And the game has just crashed. The bloody Safari Park always crashes these days. Oh no! I think we're back. I think it's thrown an exception, but we're not completely crashed. And this is why I'm not doing any more episodes of Safari Park, because the bloody thing is gone unstable, even more so. Anyway, yep, so thanks for watching. Say we'll, look at some more mech stuff, I think, next time. Maybe some mech body stuff. Because I'm starting to collect quite a lot of those now. So do subscribe to be notified when future episodes go live. And I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.